Hello and welcome to another Wednesday vlog. Now, for those of you who've been following these for a bit longer, and particularly those in the video, you may notice or hear that I'm not outside today. That is because Storm Isha is rampaging through the UK at the moment, and it is wild, wet and windy, which aren't the ideal recording conditions, and I'm still trying to catch up after the New Year's break, so these are pretty much being recorded as and when I have the time. So I am indoors for this, but I thought we'd still see if we can have a really good discussion. As a quick reminder, these Wednesday vlogs are these shorter form versions of big episodes where we just dig into one particular aspect of outdoor life, being a woodland leader, educational philosophy, and so on. And they appear both on YouTube and as a separate podcast segment. So today I thought I'd talk a little bit about personal brand. Now, I've talked in a previous episode, previous vlog, about personal reputation. I think your reputation is really valuable. It's what you develop through doing good work. Now I'm going to separate personal brand from this. Let's say reputation is where you do good work and you work with other people consistently and you get known for being good at it or doing a certain thing. Personal brand is more what you, I'm going to say, is going to be more what you put out there to be found, so that people can recognize you, identify with you, and connect with you. So I think having a personal brand is really valuable, and it should be, everyone should have some elements of this. And it depends on the structure of your business and whether you have a business or not, how this looks and how much emphasis you put on it. For me, Bracken Outdoors is a one-man show. It's me. No one else. I might occasionally have people that I engage on a freelance basis to come and do one-off sessions here and there, and I'll work with other forest schools like Wildlife's Forest School. I'll work with other practitioners. I'll work under other practitioners, but in general, Bracken Outdoors is designed around me. And so therefore my personal brand and my business brand are one and the same. When you watch one of these videos, it is me talking to you. If you go onto Bracken Outdoors, you'll likely see all of the stuff that I do and not very much else that other people do. Whereas if you are running a business that you've got multiple people in, or you're looking to scale long term, you might distance yourself from, you might have a business brand and a personal brand. So in that case, you might be, say, Wildlife's Forest School or Woodland or Wilderness Tribe or whatever will be the business name, and then the business brand, and then you are in there as a key person. So when people look through, they go, okay, this is fantastic. I see this big brand. This is really good. People in the past have generally looked at companies as something, as company kind of front or facade, as giving legitimacy. Like, okay, this is clearly a big company. Everything looks very professional. That looks great. And so you have that, and then you have, say, maybe meet the leaders, and then you are starting to move into personal brand. You go, okay, this business has this person as part of their team, and that's when you can start to connect. Because I think the trend now, which is why I said in the past, the trend now is for people to want to connect with other people. I think in a way we've had enough of businesses. And what I mean by that is that most people will buy from a business if it supplies a good product, a good price, and it's a fair alternative. But for people that are looking to gain skills and education and so on, they are more likely to go with someone who they feel they know already. And they've got to see the faces behind the organization, because it's a risk. If you haven't met the people behind a bushcraft course, going on a bushcraft course is a risk. I'm not saying that most bushcraft courses are bad or anything like that. I'm just saying you may just not gel with the instructors. They could just have a different personality or a different outlook on bushcraft. I've come across that personally. I've had bushcraft courses where I've got along fantastically with the instructors, learned a whole lot. And there's been other courses where there's just been a bit of a disconnect. A bit of a disconnect in goals and how things are taught, because I learn a certain way and they teach a certain different way. I'm not saying the quality of the course is bad. We just didn't get along. So it's a risk. If you're putting out, for bushcraft course, you could be spending 300 up to £600, and a lot of the more expensive ones are only possible because they have a person, an image, and a brand behind it. So we can see that personal branding is becoming more and more important, and having a face to your business is more valuable. People connect more with it. They are more likely to come and spend their money with you and spend time with you if you are personable, if they can see that you're a real person and you care. But even if you don't have your own business, even if you're just kind of working freelance work or you work in a school or whatever, I think it's still valuable to have a personal brand. I think as a minimum, you should set up a Facebook page that's just for you, your brand. Ideally a website. I don't like being on one platform. It's just, there's too much risk there. If the platform goes down or if they block you or whatever, and it's not quite as professional. So I think every business definitely should have a website. Like you've got to at least have a page that's off the main platforms that you can direct people to. You're funneling from Instagram or Facebook or whatever to this is my place, because there are plenty of people out there who don't use Facebook, who aren't on Instagram, and you are basically opting out of being with them. And I understand those people. Those people, if I didn't have to use Facebook for business, there's a good chance I'd remove my account. I mean, it's not something I feel particularly attached to. But what we're talking about is having a location that says that people can find out about you. And if you are out there and visible and you start building a brand, you start putting good pictures on it, a good bio, detailing some of your experiences, some of the things you're good at, you never know what sort of opportunities are going to be offered to you. But you've got to be out there in the first place. It's like this is what LinkedIn was designed around. And there are probably industries where LinkedIn works really well for this. But I've found in my experience, LinkedIn is a bit of a dead end for forest school and woodland and outdoor instructor stuff, because geared more towards the corporate world. But having a website and being on Facebook or something else is really valuable, and you start building that personal brand and getting people to connect to you. And what's the harm and having that personal brand? And also, a personal brand is a way to tie things together. You might be doing this stuff over here and that stuff over there, and say if you also teach, I don't know, I ran into forest school, talking to forest school leader yesterday who was into linguistics and had worked as a teacher and tutor and was clearly fantastically knowledgeable about languages. And that is a different skill set to forest school. I mean, there's probably crossover somewhere there, but you may not on your forest school web page or site want to include, oh yes, I also do tutoring on languages. That might be better on your personal brand site, on your personal site where you tie those things together. I'm lucky enough that most of the stuff I do is all in one kind of sector, but even then I do still have stuff that I branch out, and my website is what brings it all together, because said my website and brand are synonymous. We are one and whole. So yeah, I encourage you to get out there and build that personal brand, because it will likely come in handy in the long run. And it's really easy to do. Websites cost hardly anything these days. It probably costs you about £6 a month to keep it going, and it is a professional outlook on the world. But as a minimum, just get a Facebook page or a Wix Square site if you have to. Just get yourself out there, be discoverable, build that personal brand, and think about what you stand for and what you want to convey to people who see you, and build those connections. So with that, I think we've run pretty long for this topic. If you've got any comments, questions, suggestions, anything else, info@Bracken Outdoors is the place to send those. Otherwise, if you're on YouTube, you can drop a comment down below, send me a message on any of the social media sites. Wherever you are, I will try and be as well. Thank you so much for listening, and I thank you for your continued listenership. Remember to make the most of every day, and I'll see you all next time.